Hi, my name is Dr. Maeva Clark, and I help mothers of children with learning differences find emotional support while they're navigating life with their children without burning out. Tonight, I want to talk to you about caring for yourself and protecting your mental health and your stability, and just give you some encouragement and tools that can help you on your journey. Many mothers of children, period, in particular mothers of children with unique abilities, they find themselves running around with doctor's appointments, school activities, after school activities, working, cleaning the house, doing all these enormous things, and they don't take time for themselves. So I'm going to just hopefully love on you a little bit and help you to want to love on yourself a little bit. So the one thing I want to say is you need to acknowledge all that you're doing, acknowledge it, know where you are, know that you are doing a lot, know that you are enough, and find some strategies and things to help you in this. So one thing you want to do is find pockets of presence. Always know, like, try to tap into yourself. Where are you right now? When you're starting to feel overwhelmed, what do you have on your plate? What are you doing? What can you take off? And that's what we're going to do. So one thing you want to do is rest. You want to know that rest doesn't have to be an expensive spa day. Rest could be just closing your eyes for 10 or 15 minutes or finding pockets of time in the midst of a day. You want to take these micro moments of peace. What does that mean? When you are in line waiting to pick up your child from school, or you you're you're in the line picking them up from school, or you're in between going to work and going home to another appointment or whatever, take time, take 5 or 10 minutes while you're there. Don't scroll through your phone. Don't get on Instagram. Don't get on Facebook. Use that time to take a mental break. Rest your mind. Your mind doesn't always have to be on go. You have permission to slow down. You have permission to stop. Um, you can even try intentional breathing. So when you're in a pickup line, what you could do, again, instead of using your cell phone to catch up on what's going on or what someone posts, why don't you take time to take some deep breathing? You can breathe in a 4 count, hold for a 4 count, and exhale for um, for a 4 count. What this does is it resets your nervous system, and you'll eventually start to calm down. So it can look something like this. I'm going to do everything by four. So you want to do that 4 or 5 times at a time, and that alone will help you to reset your body. Um, you may want to take a walk after work. That may help you to rest your mind. I know a lot of times what I do, I enjoy walking. I used to jog, but in jogging it works the same. My a couple injuries and things got me out of jogging as much, and I pretty much walk now. But what I enjoy about walking is not only is it good for my physical state of being, it's good for my mental state of being. And I escape there most of the times. I'll listen to something. I might listen to a sermon. I might listen to worship music or something. But there are times when I just, in that moment, I just need peace and quiet. I need to be in my thoughts, or I need to be connecting with the Lord and being intentional, like with my prayers, or like listening for His voice to talk to me. So those moments become more than just physical exercise. It helps me to reset emotionally, mentally, and physically. So I encourage that. Today, I did a 5 mile walk with my husband. We got up around 4:30 in the morning. I don't do that all the time, especially on a day when I work. A lot of times I'll do that on the weekends. Um, but I do like to work out in the morning. I may go to the gym, but it depends on the day. And what walking did, what it does for me when we walk together, it gives us that connection time where sometimes we talk, sometimes we listen to our music, but we're just connecting by being present with one another. And what that does as well is being with each other. Sometimes we push each other, and the pace is even better. So I highly recommend that too, because, and even though it's physical exercise, I still rest my mind because I'm not actively thinking about work, or I'm not troubleshooting or solving a problem or grading papers or something. So I definitely recommend that. Um, and another thing, when you rest, sometimes resting is taking a nap, a power nap, for your physical body. But again, it doesn't have to be that. You don't have to be asleep to rest. You could just shut it down and say, I don't want to think about anything right now, or I don't want to do anything. You don't want to check your phone. You don't. So there are different ways to rest. And it may look different today than it does tomorrow for you, but be intentional about it. And you don't have to feel guilty for it. Um, Self care has become this buzzword you hear people saying, but it's really, really something that you need to practice and learn how to do. And don't think of it as a cliche. Figure out what you can do for yourself. There, like for example, you want to make it something that's accessible and sustainable to you. Um, you want it to soothe you, your spirit, and you might think that it requires money, and it doesn't have to. Sometimes it does. And when you can afford a spa day, you can afford to get a massage and pamper yourself, then do it. But most of us can't afford that every day, or maybe not even once a week. I like to get a massage monthly. Um, but there are things you can do to have self care without spending money. For example, if you take a shower, sometimes being in the shower a little longer than usual is a form of self care. Just letting the water hit you, relaxing. There are times when I need to be in the shower, decompress, and I will take an extended shower, just being in the water. letting it hit my back or whatever. That's self care. You might want to put a shower steamer in and just let let the smell and aroma from the steamer hit you. That's a form of self care. I like to use candles in the bathroom. Sometimes if I want to take an extended shower, I'll put a candle on so the aroma of the candle is going while I'm in the shower. And because I love scented candles, that's a form of self care for me. Um, what else can I tell you? Sometimes if you have younger children, getting up 10 or 15 minutes early and having a cup of coffee in peace before you have to get the kids up, or journaling. I personally love journaling. I would get up early in the morning and I use that as my prayer time. I pray and I journal. Write my inner thoughts. If I hear God's voice, I write those down. If I listen to a sermon, sometimes I use that time to listen to a sermon that my pastor or another pastor has preached, and I might write notes on that. Um, Morning for me is pivotal. I love my morning. Time is quality. It helps me to reset my day, to start my day well. I like to exercise in the morning. I do more before 7 or 8 o'clock than some people do all day. And it's intentional. Another thing that I like to do is I like to start my weeks with intention. And I will see um, maybe what the top three things that I need to get done that week. And I write them down. And then every day I think of what I can do to accomplish those tasks. So one day on Monday might be what I need to do to accomplish task one. Tuesday might be accomplishing task two, and so on and so forth. So by the end of the week, I'm productive. I find that better than writing to do lists. And you write these long lists out, you may or may not get to everything on your list, and then you carry it over the next day. Where what did you really accomplish? What did you really accomplish by the end of the week? So instead of writing a to do list with 8 or 10 things on it, I know what my needle moving activities are for the week. Um, I know that if I had, for example, if my students had papers due on Sunday, and I know that I have to grade papers this week, that's going to be one of my tasks. That's going to be one of the things that I have to get done. So that's something that has to be done before the end of the week. So Monday, maybe if I can't do grade 30 papers, maybe Monday my goal is to grade 10 papers. Tuesday might be to do 10 and Wednesday might be to do the last 10. So each day I took a chunk of that 30 um, papers that I needed to grade, but by the end of the week, I accomplished my goal. But I do that for each task, so it doesn't necessarily mean that one thing gets completed in the day, and sometimes it would be that. So that is a form of self care too, because I learned to pace myself. Um, Boundaries. Oh my goodness. Setting boundaries. When you are a wife, a mother, of a child with learning differences, you may have other children as well. Or you could be a single mom with a child with learning differences and have other children as well. Or it could be any variation of that, right? When you find yourself that way, a lot of times you find yourself being pulled or stretched or being thin. And to be honest with you, you may be a mom that don't have a child with learning differences and you're still in the exact same boat. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling pulled in all these different directions. You have doctor's appointments. You have school activities. You have after school activities. You have all of these things. And then someone at work asks you to do something above and beyond what you typically do, and you say yes. I'm here to tell you it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say at what cost to my peace. I learned that I evaluate things now, and if it costs my peace too much, I don't do it. When you have younger children, you may not have the luxury of not doing things for them, but that doesn't mean you can't tell your family and friends no because you're spread thin. Don't feel guilty. You matter. You matter. You matter. If you're no good for you, you can't be any good for anyone else. And if you set these boundaries, you show up better for yourself, you feel better, and then you can show up better for other people. Um, you want to maybe not volunteer for every school trip or for everything in a classroom. If you're usually there and this time you feel like you can't, then don't. And I just saw something this week. I saw a short with Michelle Obama, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. She was saying that she didn't go to President Trump's inauguration, and a lot of people assumed it was because she and her husband were having problems. And she said that wasn't it at all. She realized that the best form of self care for her in that moment was not to go. And she knew that the right thing to do for the masses would be for her to have attended, but she decided she was going to show up for herself and not worry about what other people thought um ab- about her, and she didn't go. And you know what, that was her protecting her peace in that moment. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that she is a person in the spotlight, not as prominent as she was when she was first lady, but still she has people watching her and judging her. And she said, no, I'm not living my life for other people anymore. And in this moment, I needed not to show up, not to go. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool because that's what I'm trying to do now. When someone asks me something, I evaluate it at what cost to me, at what cost to my peace. And if it costs too much, I say no. And when I say no, it might not be an indefinite no. It might be no, not right now, maybe tomorrow, or maybe later this evening, or maybe next week, because right now I don't have the capacity for it. And I don't have to feel guilty for being honest with myself and saying I don't have the capacity for that. Um, because I'm worth it. You're worth it. Say no. And my friend and former women's pastor, Pastor Crystal Mance, she has T-shirts and mugs and everything that says her anointed no, anointed no. It's okay to say no, especially when it preserves your peace. Sometimes that no can be, I mean, when you say yes, that could be to your detriment. It could be to your sanity. It could be a detriment to a lot of things. So don't say yes just to say yes if you don't have the capacity for it. You want to find joy in small wins when you're this mom, you're busy, you're overextended, you just don't know which way is up sometimes. You don't have to wait to celebrate the big things. You don't have to wait to celebrate the milestones. Celebrate the small wins. If your child is a picky eater and they ate all of their food today, that's a win. Yay, you got that. Um if you don't, like I just said, say no. If you don't usually set boundaries and today you set a boundary, yay, celebrate that. Celebrate you for your small win of saying no. I am learning to celebrate me differently. I am a part of the Book Profits Club, and every Monday when we go on to for our group call, we all have an opportunity to share our wins for the week. And it could be a range of things. It doesn't have to be anything major. And so I appreciate that because I have more things going on for me than I ever acknowledged before because I wasn't intentionally looking for them. Now I intentionally look for the positives, and I encourage you to do it as well. And it doesn't have to be big, it could be very small. You could even, I haven't done this, but people have, and it seems to work for some people. You could even have a victory jar when every day you can write down something that you did well or that your child did well today, and then throw it in a jar. And at the end of the month, take out those pieces of paper and see what all you accomplished in that month, and continue to do that. And um, other people do it with gratitude, things you're grateful for. So it could be anything. But what you'll find is that you have a lot more going on for you than you realize. And you learn to celebrate the small things and you learn to be grateful for them. So you could do that. Um, you don't have to be alone, even if you don't have any family or any friends in the, you just moved into a new area, you feel alone. You may be alone, but you don't have to be lonely. You can join online groups. You can join parenting groups. Do something. You need to connect. You need connection now. Um, Again, these groups can help you, and even if you have family and friends around you, they may not understand your journey. They may not have children that are faced with the same challenges that your children are faced with, or you just feel alone because they don't get you, because they don't understand what you're going through. And when that happens, I encourage you to join support groups. I have a support group called MOEK, Mothers of Exceptional Kids. We meet monthly every first Tuesday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I encourage you to come with us. There are other groups on Facebook. I even have that MOEC is on Facebook as well. Join my community. I'm trying to build it out. I encourage you, whether you're a mother, a father, or caregiver, if you have kids with learning differences or typically developing children, please, it doesn't matter. If you just want support, you want tips and tools, come on, join us. But the one thing you need is community. It is not meant for us to be alone. And if you find yourself alone physically, it doesn't mean that you have to be alone emotionally. Find someone, find someone to talk to. Um, we all need connection and it will help you. Oh, here's something. Love yourself out loud in front of your children. One thing I didn't do enough when my children were younger, and I think that everybody should. When you find yourself not doing what you wanted to get done or whatever, don't beat yourself up and say, I can't, or I failed, or I didn't accomplish. Realize that you're doing a great job because you're showing up. Realize that you did the best thing with what you had at that time. And even say that in front of your children. Say, Mommy did a good job today because I did the best I could with what I had. And that's what I mean by love yourself in front of your children. Um, you could say, I'm proud of myself today because I did this or I did that. Or you could say, Mommy's tired. I'm going to lay down because I need rest and I need to take care of my body. When we model this behavior in front of our children, we actually teach them that it's okay to take care of yourselves, and hopefully that will be caught even when it's not explicitly taught, and they'll learn to take care of themselves. And you want to quiet the inner critic. Sometimes we get in our own head. I'm not good enough. I should have done this. I should have done that. I'm telling you, dismiss those thoughts, cut them out. They don't serve you well. You're worth more than that. You deserve more than that. Get out of your own head because you can tend to, well, I'll say me, or we can tend to limit ourselves and hold ourselves back by being in our own thoughts, being in our own head. So dismiss those, rebuke those thoughts, tell them to get out of here, resist them because they don't serve you well. You definitely deserve better than that. What else? You have permission to prioritize yourself. I can't say it enough. I wish that I had done that when my children were small. I didn't. I was always on the back burner. I came last. I did not start prioritizing myself until my daughter graduated high school. Prioritize yourself. Self care is not selfish, it's necessary. Prioritizing yourself doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It could be 5 minutes a day to reset, to be quiet. to get your thoughts together and to say, not now, to someone else, because you need that time for you. You need that time for you because you matter. You matter not just today, but you matter every day. You matter. So, journaling helps, guys. Journaling helps. It helped me tremendously. So, I hope you got something out of today. I hope you realize that you need to come first. When you take care of yourself, your mental, emotional, and physical self, you show up better for you, and that better version of you can serve your family better and serve them well. Thank you for your time. I'd love to connect. Hey, download my free ebook, 5 Steps to Emotionally Support Your Child with Learning Differences Without Burning Out, by going to mothersofexceptionalkids.com. Download my free ebook. I give you tips. I give you 5 secrets to emotionally support your child with learning differences without burning out. Thank you so much for your time. And until the next time, blessings to you and yours. And I'll see you next week. Bye.